Today, we're diving into a really critical security flaw that's been found in some popular cloud software. And this isn't just some theoretical problem, okay? This is a vulnerability that hackers are actively using right now as we speak. Just think about that for a second. What if your company's front door, your digital front door, had a spare key just hidden in plain sight for anyone to grab? It's a pretty scary thought. And it's the perfect way to understand the real-world vulnerability we're going to break down today. We'll get into exactly how it works and, more importantly, what you can do about it.
All right, so let's get right into it. What exactly is this digital spare key? And where on earth was it hidden?
Well, the technical term for this is a hard-coded cryptographic key. And you might be thinking, why would anyone do that? Well, a lot of the time, it's just a shortcut developers use for testing, something that's supposed to be taken out but accidentally gets left in. The result is one single fixed password, a key that's baked right into the software's code for every single person who uses it. And listen, this isn't some obscure piece of software we're talking about here. This vulnerability affects Gladinet, CentreStack, and TrioFox. Both are really popular tools that businesses use for cloud file sharing and remote access. So if your organization uses either one, you're definitely going to want to pay close attention. The official name for this whole mess is CVE 2025-14611. And here's the real kicker. It's not just like leaving a spare key under one doormat. It's like leaving the exact same key under every single customer's doormat. So once an attacker finds it one time, they've got the key to every single door. Okay, so an attacker gets their hands on this key. Now what? Let's look at how this one tiny mistake can blow up into a major security nightmare. You know, the process is frighteningly simple. An attacker just has to find that key in the software's code. Then they can use it to completely bypass security. And from there, they can potentially get right into your server files, all without ever needing a username or a password. The specific kind of attack this flaw opens the door for is called local file inclusion, or LFI for short. Think of it like a classic web hacking trick, where an intruder can fool the application into showing them files on the server that should be completely 100% off-limits. So the bottom line is pretty simple. With that one spare key, an attacker can launch one of these LFI attacks and just start reading sensitive files on your server. It's a direct path to a really serious data breach. Now, this isn't just some researcher finding a bug in a lab. The problem is so serious that the U.S. government's own Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, that's CISA, has issued an urgent warning about it. This thing has been elevated to a national level concern. And the reason they're so worried is right there in their own words. They said it was added to their official catalog because of ongoing exploitation by hackers. In other words, this isn't a what-if scenario. It's a what's happening right now scenario. And to really hammer the point home, CISA has set a hard deadline for federal agencies to fix this, January 5th, 2026. That is a crystal clear signal of just how big a risk they think this is. Now, it's really important to understand who this applies to. That deadline is a mandatory order for federal agencies. But for everybody else, private companies, state governments, local governments, CISA is basically shouting from the rooftops. This is a very, very strong recommendation. If you use this software, you need to get on this now. All right, enough of the scary stuff. We get it. It's a big problem. Now for the most important part. The solution. How do you get rid of this spare key and, change the locks on your digital front door? CISA laid out a pretty clear action plan. First, go check the instructions from the software vendor, like right now. The goal is to apply the patches that get rid of these hard-coded keys. And if for some reason a fix isn't available for your version, you should seriously think about just stopping use of the product altogether. The bottom line is, this has to be a top priority. It is worth pointing out that so far, we haven't seen this vulnerability linked to any big ransomware attacks, but, and this is a really big but, the fact that it's so incredibly easy to exploit makes it a ticking time bomb that you just can't afford to ignore. And that really brings us to the final, bigger picture here. This whole incident is a huge reminder of the hidden risks we accept every day in our digital lives. And it leaves us with a really important question to think about. In a world that is literally built on code, how many other spare keys, these simple, overlooked flaws, are we all trusting every single day?